is a touch after 7 o'clock Central Africa time. Welcome to it. You are tuning into the NewsDesk right here on television, where we inform, impact, and inspire you. A whole host of stories that we are tracking for you this evening on this 19th day of December 2024. We'll be tracking a lot of developments and stories that we've been tracking, as we all know that 2024 has been such an eventful year. Taking a look at the fact that we were looking into the 2024 general elections that were happening, and also the MK party making some incredible comeback and also growth within the political spectrum into that. Also looking into the fact that there has been a lot of global entertainment, sports, and also current affairs that have been making news headlines, and today we are going to be tracking that on the show today. As we close off the year in the big stories, we are going to begin off with giving you everything that you need to know in the stories that have been making waves, the stories that have been making news headlines even today within the news cyclone, and then we give you the extended version of the behind the headlines segment, as I'll be joined by my news editors right here on television, where we inform, impact, and inspire you. Babalwa Manzana, Kgothatso, Samokelo are going to be joining me as we are going to try to make sense of it all. What has caught your attention in 2024? What has made news? And one thing that you want to make sure that is being heard, make sure that you use the comment section there below to try to make sense of it all. And then let's bring you the whole question that we are having for you today, this evening. It's very simple. One thing that we want to find out from you is that what is the 2024 headline that has made the biggest impact in South Africa and to the world? And you definitely had 4 options there. The first option was the 2024 general election. Was it the 2024 general election that has caught your attention? However you weigh it, please make sure that you do vote on our social media platforms. Number 2, you had hashtag Chris Brown and FNB Stadium. Was it one of the things that had made you to catch your attention this year in 2024? Number 3 is definitely has to be the CAF 2024 awards and also Ronald Williams' dominance. We are taking a look into those stories that have been making waves and definitely making news headlines. And then the 4th one has to be definitely the rise of the MK party. As you all know, that the rise of the MK party has sparked a lot of waves within South Africa, and definitely it has been an incredible season, and today it promises not to be any more different as we wrap up season 3 of the news. There's plenty on the go for you. If I were you, I will buckle up and put on my seatbelt, because we are going to be bringing you diverse stories and looking into an intriguing conversation, as we are going to be doing everything together within this hour right here on the NewsDesk on television, where we inform, impact, and inspire you. Without wasting time, let us begin the show with the first segment of the day for the last time in 2024. Let's go behind, or rather, to the big stories. Right, reporting live from Johannesburg, Soweto. Very good evening to you. I am Kagiso Sithole. Plenty on the go for you, as we are going to be taking a look into the stories that have been making headlines this evening. And this evening we start in Gauteng, as we know that the spaza shops registration has been increased to February 2025. We are seeing that there has been a lot that has been happening. The finance MEC Lebogang Maile is sounding the alarm about the alleged intimidation of spaza shop owners by foreign nationals. The government has received over 2,800 registration applications from non-South African as part of the national-wide spaza registration drive, and this is now extended into February 2025. It has been raising a lot of questions and a lot of spark, in a sense that we wanted to find out definitely what does this mean, especially for a lot of citizens, especially knowing that South African citizens are the one knowing that these spaza shops are a convenience to them, and we are seeing that the Naledi saga sparked a lot of controversy and a lot of young people dying amidst this, buying snacks from these foreign nationals. And we are seeing that this puzzle shop has sparked a lot of controversials, and a lot of people were asking themselves the questions that when are we going to take action? When are we really going to be dealing with this with this saga that we are seeing, especially looking at the fact that these puzzle shops are not being regulated as they're supposed to be regulated, and we are also seeing that there are safety concerns, and we also know that the Department of Health also come out to saying that the tuberculosis was one of the chemicals that were taken out there, which is a dangerous chemical that has been found and spotted in amongst the most of these puzzle shops. The Department of Health went out to making inspections in these puzzle shops, and these are some of the things that they found into those things. But the MEC of Finance in Gauteng, Lebogang Maile, went out to saying that some of these remarks ahead of planning and preparation, knowing that this extension has been headed until 2025 February, and these are some of his remarks.
The difficulties that South Africans are facing in this difficult economic environment, and recognizes that supporting and empowering them, it's non-negotiable. It is for this reason that this puzzle shop registration process is being simultaneously instituted alongside interventions such as imbizos with township property owners across all regions of the province. The Gauteng provincial government will continue to prioritize the development of interventions that seeks to bring locals into the township economy, anchoring this on the principles of redress and affirmative community development.
All right, that is the MEC of Finance here in Gauteng, Lebogang Maile. Just reiterating some of the words around these puzzle shops and the regulation, knowing that the deadline has been moved to February 2025, and we definitely will be tracking those developments right here on television. But some of his remarks there saying that if South Africans who have been intimidated can have their say, they can definitely send out their grievances to the Gauteng department, saying that they can bring this matter to their attention. We will deploy resources and protect our citizens. This is some of the words that the MEC of Finance in Gauteng, Lebogang Maile, is saying. While these promises of protection sounds good on paper, one cannot help but wonder how much of these action is actionable and how much of this is a political posturing, as we all know that some of these matters have to be dealt over by definitely the political posturing that we are seeing in our country. Let's hope that this registration will bring more clarity and also safety for those who are involved, especially the young people in our township. However you weigh it, go into our social media platforms using the hashtags Puzzle Shop Debate and also hashtag the NewsDesk to share your thoughts. Right, let's move over to news on the go now. This has definitely to have to be the story on the roads, as we know that the festive season has definitely kicked off, and a lot of road users are hitting the road in making sure that they are using the road safely. The N-Toll Coalition highways, where the N3 rather toll concession is preparing for a weekend over heavy traffic as holiday makers head towards KwaZulu-Natal since the start of the season, and also the N3 has already been seeing severe congestion and also severe serious crashes. Also knowing that the roads so far have also reached such significant heights of people losing their lives. We also know that the Eastern Cape also came out being one of the provinces that kicked off the festive season, and such a very somber note of killing some few people there. The COO Tyla saying that alarmingly, more than 80% of the crashes are likely due to human error, recklessly driver behavior and distractions, and also poor decision making. That is what we are seeing, and most of the things they're saying that the grim reminder that while we can complain about potholes and infrastructure, us being safe on the road is especially such an important thing. And the Minister of Transport, Barbara Creasy, was out there this afternoon just sharing some of the findings that he found on the roads and taking out the stats of how far is South African roads safe even in this festive season, and this is definitely what she had to say.
75% of accidents on our roads are caused by driver behavior, and this would include speeding, it would include the issue of fatigue, and many of the horrific crashes that we see in the early hours of the morning are as a result of somebody falling asleep at the steering wheel. Of course, irregular use of cell phones while driving, And then I think there's the very vexed issue of the issue of pedestrians on our roads. What we know is that more than half, 57%.
Right, so that's the Minister of Transport, Baba Creasy there, just explaining some of the fatalities that are seen and iterating that most of 50% of these, we are finding that it is mostly pedestrians. Pedestrians, you are urged that when you go into the streets, make sure that you wear something that is bright so that motorists can see you, and make sure that you walk safely where you will not be, harmed by these vehicles. But however, even as the department and also the nation is preparing for this congestion that we are seeing in the roads, we are openly saying that to all travelers, we need to stay focused, stay calm, and stay alive. And also, again, what do you think needs to be done to reduce these festive season road rages that we are seeing? Please make sure that you go onto our social media platforms to share your thoughts using the hashtag #RoadSafetyNow, hashtag the NewsDesk, however you find this. Right, let's move on to other news making news internationally, which is further afield. We know that explosion kills Russia's military leader. This comes after, as we all know, that Russia and Ukraine have been fighting. They have been definitely going against each other, and definitely reaching the heights of trying to make sure who is the ruler of the land there, as Russia came out to say that part of Ukraine is part of their land. For the kind of the story that feels that it has rippled straight from the spy thriller, Lieutenant Igor Kirillov, who is rather the head of Russia's nuclear defense forces, a man accused of deploying banned chemical weapons against Ukraine, was assassinated rather in Moscow on Tuesday. This past Tuesday, he was assassinated with an explosive that was planted in a scooter denoted near his residential building, killing Kirillov and also one of his allies, some of the people that were there with him. He was not only killed alone, he was also killed with some of the people that were accompanying them. And just to confirm, because this 2024 and nothing stays a secret, Ukraine's security service has already taken credit for the operation. We all know that this has been something that has been going on for years now, and has been showing a slight change in terms of the prices, especially in oil prices. We've seen the oil prices taking a height. Some of the trade deficiencies that we are seeing even in our country shows that the country itself, they are not going to end the war. Even Vladimir Putin, the president himself, was reiterating some of the words to say that, they will continue this fight in making sure that they conquer over the Ukraine. But the MLI news reporter was reporting on some of the incidences and also some of the cases of how this bomb was inserted into the scooter of this general who is from the Moscow there, and we are seeing that they are iterating some of the findings there, and this is what he had to say.
Kirillov was killed outside an apartment building along with his assistant. The source in the security service of Ukraine claimed the killing of the top commander. 54-year-old Igor Kirillov was the head of the Russian Armed Forces Radiation, Chemical and Biological Defense Troops. He started his career in the Armed Forces of the USSR from 1987. From 1991 to 1994, he had served as a platoon commander. From 1995, he held positions like company commander to brigade commander of separate radiation, chemical and biological protection brigade. From 2005 till 2007, he studied at the Nuclear, Biological and Chemical Protection Military Academy. And from 2009, he had served in various positions at Nuclear, Biological and Chemical Protection Troops.
Alright, so that's MOI news reporter there, just reiterating some of the findings that they found even in this deadly bomb scare that we're seeing. But let's not be mice about this, right? This raises a whole lot of questions around the intelligence there, especially in Moscow's top brass, to saying, what if ever a top missile can be brought down? What about an ordinary citizen? What about someone that is just living their ordinary lives? What does this mean to them? Because even the intelligence couldn't see this, because this this bomb was placed into a scooter, and some of the video footages that we are seeing that even when this Moscow thing has been done, we are seeing that the bomb there that was set into the scooter, it was near his home, and not only only was he injured alone, but also he died with some of his troops that were accompanying them here. And a big question rises about MONUSCO's top brass and also top police services there, and saying that what is it exactly that they are facing in them. However you weigh this, please let us know. What does this say about security infrastructure? Let us know using the hashtag Ukraine on all our social media platforms, and also hashtag the NewsDesk for us to find out more about this tragedy that we are seeing. Right, you are up to date with the big stories that we are tracking for you this day, that has been happening with you this day. Shortly I'm going to be joined by my news editors, but then we'll be bringing you again this poll question that we are asking you even this evening. We are asking you which 2024 headlines had the biggest impact on South Africa and the rest of the world. You can go onto our social media platforms because you definitely have 4 options for you to choose. The first one definitely has to be the 2024 general elections. Were the one that have caught your attention and captured your attention? Please let us know, and however you are viewing this. The second option that you had there definitely has to be the hashtag Chris Brown, hashtag FNB Stadium. Was FNB Stadium being filled one of the things that had caught your attention this year, or the CAF 2024 awards, Ronan Williams taking dominions? Please let us know on our social media platforms. And also the fourth one has to be the rise of the MK party, which has sparked a lot of conversations around here. However you view it, we have to see how you weigh it. Let's go behind the headlines. Evening, where we go behind the headlines, where we definitely try to make sense of everything that has been making news and making news rounds. And today we are having a different side of things. I am going to be joined by my news editors. I am joined by Babalwa Manzana. I am joined by Samokelo, and also going to be joined by Kgothatso, who is our sports editor, as we try to make sense of everything that has been transpiring within the news cycle. That we know that 2024 has definitely been a big year. Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome to the news desk.
Hello, hi. Hello, hi. Always a pleasure to be here.
Plenty on the go, indeed. Babs, good evening. Welcome to the news desk.
Good evening, everyone. Always on the road, but I am good. I'm great. I see that we're having an amazing show so far, and a lot has been happening on this 2024. So I just can't wait for us to unpack that.
Yeah, definitely. A lot to unpack this evening. I see also Kgothatso, our sports editor, is also here. Kgothatso, sir, very good evening to you. Welcome to the news desk.
Good evening, Kagiso. How are you?
I'm well, thanks. Plenty on the go for us tonight for our final Behind the Headlines segment for 2024. We are going to be giving you an extended version of the Behind the Headlines segment. As I did mention, I am joined by our news editors. I'm joined by Babalwa Manzana. I'm joined by Kgothatso. I'm joined by Samokelo. We are diving into the big stories that have caught our attention this year, from current affairs, business, sports, and also entertainment. Buckle up, is going to be definitely a fun trip to go. Let me start off this conversation this evening with a very sensitive matters to all our viewers. Please note that this story is a very sensitive story and is a very graphic. So if it is very sensitive to you, we apologize for this. The first story has to be definitely the story that has gripped the nation for all the wrong reason: the killing of Nontobeko Cele by her partner Kagiso Lawrence, and this has subsequent confession video on social media has reignited the conversation about gender-based violence in South Africa. As we all know that we are from the 16 days of activism, right guys? And from the 16 days of activism, we were just wrapping it up, and we had a lot of conversation and series around this, having guests sharing about this, and today we are still finding ourselves that we are still men are out there killing their loved ones. Some people that are supposed to be saying that is my wife, someone that I love, someone that I've been sharing with. But before we share in our 2 cents, I went out, and the team itself went out to find this video of the confession from Kagiso Lawrence, and this is some of his confession that he had to say. Let's listen in.
Empilweni yami, thana certified woman Ngizama ukumjabulisa. Ngizama ukuthi umuntu osifazane ajabule. Ngizame kanzima. Kulezo zinto eziningi. That's what senginomuntu wami sengihappy ngiyamyeka naye nomuntu wakhe obuyela kumina wathi mina asibuyelane uzomyeka asikane into ayenzile uthatha ifoni yami wathatha umuntu wami amkhombisa ividiyo kusunami umuntu wamangala ngenxa yakhe mase fasibuyelane siqhubeke nempilo bangaba naye kasala kanjalo lo muntu lo ngimondle engenanix engenalutho noma umuntu osifazane lapha.
All right, that is the video from Kagiso Lawrence. I'm just sending out a message to saying why he killed him, even though he's justifying the reasons that he killed him. And another thing that has made the story just to not be as serious as it is, that even as us as the media, we have said Kagiso Lawrence killed his fiance because of. We are justifying this, and there is no other justification that can replace this. This is just not a headline, but this is a reminder that GBV remains a crisis in South Africa. Babalwa, I will start with you here as a woman in this panel. Why are we still having conversation around GBV even in 2024, and what do you think still needs to change?
Well, Kagiso, it's honestly heartbreaking, that in 2024, we are still having these conversations despite countless campaigns and promises, The needle actually hasn't moved enough, We honestly need systematic change, more education, and actually better enforcement of laws, if I can say, and accountability, at every level. Communities also actually need to step up and actually intervene before situations escalate.
Absolutely, Babs, absolutely. And I'm not forgetting that the social media, the role that social media amplifies these cases while exposing the horror is often stopped there. I end up guys. Now talking about this over and over again, it gets to a point where it happens again. Every year towards this time we have the same thing. We have 16 days of activism towards the beginning of December. And then in the middle of December or towards the end of the 16 days of activism, we'll hear a story again that someone killed her girlfriend, someone killed the wife. We need more real action inspired stories than online outrage, because we are all big mouths on the socials, but no actions.
Like guys, it is really sad, honestly. But for me, like it's about addressing the root causes of poverty, and unemployment and the toxic masculinity that's going on, So these are bending grounds for GBV. Without taking this, we just like actually scratching the surface right now.
Indeed, we are just scratching the surface and nothing seems to be done as much. And I was listening to an interview with the former police minister, Babalwa Cele, this afternoon from Newsroom Africa. Was interviewing him, and then he was engaging with these communities. And somehow it might seem as if because it's his family member and they are related to this, that's why he took action to this. But that's a story for another day. A tweet on social media says that another tragic GBV case in 2024 reminds us that words are not enough. What systematic changes do you think South Africa needs to end this epidemic? Go onto our social media platforms and make sure that you engage with us around this. How can we end GBV? Hashtag end GBV. Hashtag the NewsDesk review. That is the conversation that sparks, a lot of rage, especially within our communities. Babs, what's the next story?
Definitely, we do.
Babs, are you here? All right, I think Babs has some network glitches, if I'm not sure. Or is it me? Babs.
Oh, she's
Can
back.
you hear
She's
me
back.
now?
Now we can hear you, Claire. What's the next story?
Oh, I was saying that we just move on to South Africa's 7th general election right now. where a historical movement actually that saw the ANC lose its parliamentary majority, for the first time since the year 1994. While newcomers MK Party actually shook up the landscape. A nationality unit government was actually formed with the ANC, the DA, the IFP, and the PA actually working together. Kagiso, I don't know what's your take on these political shakeups.
I love politics. Definitely, I need to
If
put on my 2 cents on this one. Very exciting to see that, in a sense that this was a voice of South Africa. This was a clear indication that ahead of the 2026 general election and the 2029 general elections, we are going to see a shift in the ANC dropping, because now we've seen that these political parties that came in, they kind of shifted, the ANC from its original seats that they had. Not only the ANC was shook, but the EFF was also shook from the third place, where we saw the MK party coming in and scooping some of, the members from the EFF there. We saw Floyd Chibambu saying that actually who's this? Julius Malema is not my friend. Julius Malema saying that he is my friend. Even at the same time, Julius Malema was being interviewed on, on the MPA that they had last week, and he said that, "Why are you asking me about Hussein Ndlozi? You guys have his numbers. You can call him." It causes a very huge reaction into this, because this shows that people are looking for alternatives in South Africa, and definitely, even if they are unconventional ones, they are definitely trying to see change.
Yep.
Yeah, it's interesting. That was quite interesting, very interesting. The part that it was a role of independent candidates. Phela manje sesama solo riding solo. I think we're gonna have 110 parties in the next 10 years from now, because people are now trying to bring a game change in this politic world, and it allowing communities and leaders to select their own people who they feel like they reach their needs. There are people who are close to home. So the question is, will the trend continue in 2025?
Yeah, will it really continue? Some of what you said, they're saying we might have more political parties. It is true. If people are not being heard, they are going to open their own thing. They are going to come with their own strategy to survive. But with me, I'm just curious to see how the national unity government holds up with this. Because with this all ideology, the clashing we're dealing with, can they really deliver on what as citizens we want, on what people want, or will this be another collusion or just another statement in the making?
It's a very interesting question that you're asking there, Kgothatso, saying that what does this mean for us? Are they really going to deliver? And a lot of people, it reminds me of the words of the former Minister of Sports, Kgothatso, to say that I've just arrived. And a lot of them are saying that they've just arrived, but we've seen some movements such as the current Minister of Sports, Dayton McKenzie, making some waves. We've seen them making some distraction, some incredible improvements there.
Definitely, eh?
Yeah.
You are 100% correct there. They are definitely making moves, and they are actually being noticeable as well, if I may say.
So do make sure that you follow and interact with us on our social media platforms. It's at hashtag 2024 elections, hashtag NewsDesk review. You can connect with us there and talk more about that. Have us your views and what you have to do. Let's go straight to the third story. Okay, this one was very difficult, you guys. So would and Nafana Bari Geliko called so poor girl. So this year, Chidimma had an identity or perception crisis. I don't know what to call it, but like Chidimma was trending, guys. Chidimma was trending for a heated controversy. Chidimma's a Nigerian slash South African model. It sparkled the debates between countries, between people online, and South Africa had to pull her out because of the identity crisis within for are you Nigerian? Are you South African? Do you have all the rights because you live in South Africa to be part of Miss South Africa? That was the question coming across the socials. And yes, we see this beauty pageants it's not just about who you are, its identity, citizenship, and all that. People take these things serious, and some of the potential pushes about this story. What hatred? What do you have to say about this? How about what does it do to the society, identity crisis, and stuff like this? Because uzozalelwa ePitori and then grow up in Soweto, and then people from Soweto feel like you are not part of them because you were not born there. So I think Chidimma had that crisis. It would take when move.
Eish. So kahle last qala xenophobia kahle. We going back to the olden days now where we say mabashisiwe, so we're not trying to unite at this point.
Like
Like,
Gentle McKenzie once said,
mabahambe like that. I mean, I don't blame these guys. Like, literally, I'm not gonna fight them because they came here to build, they came here to eat. But at the same time, it's disappointing somehow, like the story highlights how far we have to go, like just talking about xenophobia. It's just all about policies, it's about changing hearts and changing minds of the people we're dealing with. If we see things in a different way, we as a country gonna be fine. We have to understand, well, these guys, they're here to eat, they're here to work, they're here to better their lives and everything, and we can't just be here and say, hi, who are you? Go. Like, guys, we have our kids who are sitting there, they don't doing anything. As soon as this guy takes action, we want to fight them. I mean, why? Like, why should we fight them if we not taking action to doing these things? All these things, they're open for South Africans. They just an opportunity to, okay, you guys don't want to do it, we're going to do it. So as soon as they step in, now we're bringing a fight to them. Oh, why are you doing this? Why are you doing this? Instead of us getting up and doing it, we just have to fight them. So like I'm saying, Simo, it's really, really, really disappointing. Actually, when you talk about xenophobia, it's really heartbreaking.
Okay, let's talk about this again, guys. Xenophobia derails Miss South Africa finalist Chidimma. What is your take? What does it take for South Africa to start embracing diversity? Talk to us.
Yeah.
You can connect with us on hashtag SA Controversy and hashtag NewsDesk Review.
On my side, it honestly, I think the saddest part about this is that it actually happened in a competition, that's actually supposed to be celebrating diversity and inclusivity. So I think we honestly need to do better. I just realized when it came to the whole Chidimma saga that there are a lot of things and a lot of people had so many opinions when it came to the story, but I still believe that we can still do better.
My 2 cents is that let's stop xenophobia, let's change minds. And to show that he even won a second runner-up for Miss Universe Nigeria, goes to show that the talent and the skills that is there. I mean, yes, we want better resources for our people. This goes back to, it reminds me of the now Premier of Limpopo, who was the former MEC of Health, Popi Ramatuba, who was at hospital with the foreign national, and she definitely looked at the foreign national in the eye. She was pregnant, and she told her that, I will not offer you resources until my people get those resources. My people come first. And you guys are wasting our resources by coming here, and now the people of South Africa can't even use these resources in terms for them to get better healthcare. But yes, it's a story for another day. Definitely we need to change hearts and to change minds. Let's wrap up the first round with the world of sports.
Okay, so wrapping up the first round, let's talk about sports, ladies and gentlemen. I have news for you guys. So the racing world is buzzing as Ferrari reveals its launch date for F1 car that will mark Lewis Hamilton. Debut with the team, the partnership between the Ferrari and Hamilton is being hailed as the game changer. Looking forward to this guy, from Mercedes-Benz to Red Bull, to Ferrari. Like, what's going on with this guy? Like, I feel like yo, he is a game changer himself. But so Lewis Hamilton is teaming up with Charles, and Ferrari claims that its dominance in the constructors, the champion, so constructors championship. I mean, so Kagiso, what do you think with this partnership? Like, do you think it means the future to the Formula One?
Definitely means the future. in a sense that even today I was listening to a press briefing by the Minister of Sports, Detton McKenzie, saying that they are working together to make sure that Formula One Grand Prix comes to South Africa in Kyalami. So they are making talks and signing contracts there to kind of, try to bring this Formula One. But definitely looking into Hamilton, this is a great start for him, and definitely him inspiring young people to take the heights in making sure that whatever that they dream of, whatever the passions is, don't put it behind. If they succeed, it will be a legacy defining moment. If they fail, the pressure will still be immense, because this is definitely a high stake for them. Moving from Mercedes to Ferrari now, it's definitely going to be such a quite big thing to be anticipating ahead of 2025 and the rest of other years.
And let us not forget the fans, guys. The partnership is already recognized in the global interest for F1. In 2025 is going to be an exciting season. I know someone personally or Tandama F1, and like this guy is invested. We can be chilling somewhere, and then if there's a race, he'll leave us there. So people like him, I know, will be glued on the screen to see this one happen.
Yeah. We're looking forward to this. No one is missing this, And if they're bringing you to Kyalami racetrack, guys, why are we staying at home? Why do we usually have to stay at home? We should all go there. Let's go see them live. Let's see that sport happen in our land, guys. Like, this is the greatest opportunity for us, I believe. All we have to do is just go there and support. And someone tell that guy to get his ticket as soon as they announce that he must get it. We should all meet there, guys.
Please.
Oh, yes, I love the fact that we were also not so long ago discussing how these new political parties were also changing things and how it's done. I have to say that I'm really proud of the Minister of Sports, how he is having a game changer, wanting South Africa to be a better country in terms of us being ahead and showing us that it's actually possible for us to also achieve those things, because there have been also a lot of things when it happens to football and other things that I can highlight that I love. What he also did was definitely introducing the, I don't know what you call it, guys, the spinning of the cars, something that has been there for a while, but he wants us to know that it's actually, we can believe that it's also a sport. So yeah, I also just like to for us to actually take it now to the round of our stories, where SASSA CEO Busisiwe Memela Kamula actually was placed on suspension. I just want us to kick it off for round two, as I was saying, which is a major story, where Memela has been placed on a precautionary suspension to allow for a probe into her appointment. This move actually follows a myriad, if I may say, of a serious issue, which was raised by the public protector. Now, these raises questions, to things like accountability in our government institutions, So if the head of the critical agency like SASSA, right, is actually under security, what does this say about our systems, right, that we actually rely on to actually support the most vulnerable? Okay, so I don't know what your take on this one, everyone.
The former minister of SASSA, Lindiwe Zulu, was having these challenges. The now Minister of Social Development, Kagiso Sithole, is having the same problems. It raises a question about leadership in these state-owned entities, and SASSA has to be a lifeline for many South Africans. I mean, pensioners, the disabled, those who are unemployed, the mothers of children are depending on SASSA to make sure that they provide basic needs to them. And I'm not saying that South Africa needs to be lazy in a sense that they rely on SASSA, but it's the reality that we're living with right now, that people are depending on it to get their means going on their everyday lives. But one thing that I have to ask about this is definitely that if ever we are taking this thing of leaders not being accountable for their action and they compromise their seats by using the money that's supposed to be feeding South Africans, what happens to South Africans relying on these grants to survive? What does this mean? This story needs definitely more attention to this.
I think it means they're comfortable with it. Like, I don't know someone else's opinion from this, but if they going to receive this money, not take action to better their lives or anything. I feel like we're just too comfortable and we feel like, oh, we can accomplish a lot with this money, where there's more to that, you know. So, you know, when they announced those 350 thing, when I was still living with my cousins and everything, it was just during COVID and everything, and they were receiving it, they were buying goods with it, which was so nice. Then these other contracts that came out for 3.5 and everything, and I remember just sitting there and we had a debate about this, where it's like they were praising it so much, and I was so against it. Until this day, I'm just so against it. I'm like, why? The more you give them is the more we go. Like the more I receive that money,
Yeah.
why would I stand up? I mean, I'm not going to work, and this money is coming into my account. I'm not gonna do anything. I'm just gonna sit there. But for how long are you gonna sit there and keep on receiving this money while the what you call the prices, you know, like living is expensive nowadays, man. There's no
Very
t-shirts
expensive.
for 100 rand. T-shirt starts
I
from
share
150 going up.
sentiment
You think that money is
with
going
you.
to sustain you? Like, it's
It's
hard.
I
definitely
share sentiments with you
hard.
because I know people personally. Like I'd be asking Guti, like, why do you get so excited over the 350, guys? 350 is little nowadays. 350, you don't get up to 5 or 6 items got 350, but you should see us on that date. People are there on the lines by 6 a.m. already before the malls open. They are there waiting for that. I think we are comfortable to a point where we feel like the government owes us and stuff. We forget to do things for our own. This 350 can go. There's a guy, I read a story about a guy that started saving up this 350's own vule, something like a farm. He started selling vegetables. If people could start thinking like that, I think these grants would assist us in a positive way. But now it has spoiled us. People are alcoholics because of this grant. People smoke drugs. Guy on 350, you'd hear people around 4 a.m. telling each other, "Oh, hey, ngenile."
That's true. Hey,
And the sad
I
thing
think
is
another
that
thing that
what are you doing? How are you spending with what are you buying with this 350? Because it can't even buy you just basic, you know. I'm looking at people who definitely really need this money. But 350, what are you buying with 350?
absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. I think another thing that has actually opened my eye is saying that it also, when it comes to our political leaders also being suspended in cases of this, you have to definitely think about that as well. It's quite devastating, as we're also saying that this is money that people are actually, relying on. And what we'd like to do right now is just to pose a question on our tweet saying that SASSA CEO suspended. What does this actually mean for the million relies, for those who are rather relying on the SASSA grant, the accountability or other scandals? So please use the hashtag SASSA suspension and, of course, have the hashtag NewsDesk review.
Definitely keeping those hashtags on the roll on social media. Another hashtag that we need to keep on the roll has to be definitely be about the G20. As we all know that the G20 is something that is coming up in 2025, looking into the world of business. Finance Minister Enoch Godongwana has warned of a looming solvency challenges for developing nations as a global debt reaches unprecedented levels. This comes as South Africa begins its 2025 G20 presidency with a focus on Africa's debt crisis. Godongwana's comment highlights the dire need for solutions as developing nations struggle to stay afloat. Besides them staying afloat, it also raises a question to say that President Cyril Ramaphosa was saying that they are going to use this G20 to make sure that we alleviate poverty within South Africa. And not only are we alleviating poverty, but we're making sure that there is jobs, as we've been seeing that the unemployment rate has been increasing rapidly, within South Africa, and some industries showing a defect. We saw that even the GDP in the previous quarter dropped due to the industries such as manufacturing, which raises a huge question around our finances and our economy around this G20 that is going to be coming in October 2025. I don't know, how does this impact everyday South Africans, and your thoughts around this G20?
Oh, Kagiso, this is a double-edged sword, I should say. One hand is about the microeconomic issues, trading and investments. On the other hand, is challenges that trickles down, inflation and unemployment. People are affected, guys, by this. People feel like their pockets are troubled every day, and then we introduce such things. Some people look at it as a positive thing, and some people see it as hindrance, because it gets real. Trust me, it gets real. Kgothatso. Kgothatso.
I think we've lost Kgothatso there. Whilst
I can weigh in my
yes, you can, Babs.
Oh, okay. No, I was just wanted to also highlight, saying maybe you know what, when it comes this, I just want us not to forget. Rather, it's honestly not just about us as South Africans, right? South Africa as a whole, if I may say, right? It faces these crises. You know, the G20 presidency is honestly an opportunity for us. But oh, I do apologize, guys. I'm still here. So I was saying it's an opportunity, but it will bring meaningful changes or just more than empty statements. That's what I honestly just want to find out about that.
Definitely a correct point there. I don't know if it's this story that is stressing you so much that you can't even catch your breath, but definitely the G2025 is coming up, and South Africa is taking that presidency, and definitely economic growth, unemployment, and other avenues are going to be taken into account to making sure that there is better revenue and better economic development when it comes to our country and also to the state of our nation. But a tweet that we want you to engage with within this global debt crisis, Finance Minister Enoch Godongwana warns of sovereignty risk. Can South Africa lead meaningful change during this G20 presidency? Go onto all our social media platforms using the hashtag debt crisis, hashtag the NewsDesk review. Right, let's move over to some entertainment news, and definitely has to be on a lighter note. Tyla.
Ooh.
Tyla joins the South African Global Stars, guys. Tyla bafethu. Tyla. Tyla has been on our lips since we saw him, since he set foot in since he set foot, she's been on our lips, and it is working for her, I should say. On a brighter note, let's talk about South Africa's new global sensation, Tyla, a Joburg-born star who joined the record of icons of Trevor Noah, Charlize Theron, Black Coffee, and she is holding it up to the standard, I should say. She has been walking on world best stages since she began. She's been nominated for awards that people who've been in the industry for 10 years or more have never even set foot to BET. Abazi nokuthi yini BET, some of them. But Tyla Utsamo, guys, let's talk about Tyla. Make them water, girl, I should say. Make them water. Tyla is real proof of that South Africa is real proof that South Africa has talent, and it's exciting to see her represent us and waving the flag in the music. What do you think about this?
Firstly, I'd like to apologize. So my network was just acting up. Samo, it's really inspiring, man. Like, yo, Tyla, my crush, shows that with the right platform in South Africa, artists
There
can
you go.
achieve.
Right here in South Africa, we just heard that Kgothatso's crush is Tyla. Noted.
Hey, don't tell her I said that, But she's showing that with the correct platform in South Africa, like artists in South Africa can achieve global recognition. They can be seen out there, So it's about the time the world paid. It's about time the world pay attention to what's actually happening, to the talent we've always known was here. Like they must pay attention to our artists. We don't only have for Tyla, we don't actually have for Tyla. We also have dancers too, who can be recognized. So like it's about time we take this talent series, we give these kids exposure. Like, have you guys seen TikTok lately? Like, hey, these kids are making moves, they dancing out there, So yeah, guys. So I think with the correct global record, like with the correct platform in South Africa, all artists can be recognized everywhere.
Make them water.
And make them water. Guys, I totally agree with you. I think Tyla is a true representation of, that everything is possible. If you do it consistently, it will definitely work out. I just love the fact that Kgothatso also touched on the fact that we're living in a digital era right now. When it comes to exposure, everything is so easy. She's been consistent over the years. And I'm really proud of her. I think this is something that I also spoke about. I think we spoke about it on Tuesday, about Rowan Williams, when how he was also recognized as the top goalkeeper. I was giving a shout out most basically to the colored community, they're being recognized in such a true recognition. I am honestly proud. And I love the fact that she's herself, if I may put it that way as well. She hasn't really much changed. She is still herself. And I just want us not to just forget the cultural impact while we're all still on that. Tyla is honestly just isn't just making music, if I may say, as she is representing South Africa on a global stage, bringing our stories to the world,
And talking about that, Babalwa, have you seen those skirts she wears? Abantu sebazigqoka shem, like, "Umuntu jwang." Umuntu jwang. We are all wandering the world.
I'm against the skirts. I'm against the skirts. Honestly speaking,
Oh,
she must be the Makoti. She must give me Makoti vibe, man.
There we
She
go.
must get the
She must
Makoti vibe.
respect. Thank you very much,
Yeah, she must respect
She must
me,
respect.
guys. I must be respected.
They must respect. And one thing I love about South Africans is that even when we are taking someone into at heart and bringing them to the home, we even want to dress like them. We also want to look like them. Looking into Chris Brown was
iconic.
performing. A lot of people wanted to wear like him and all that. But even with Tyla, even those skirts, people want to wear like her. So it's the influence that goes.
Guys, why are you surprised? Many pulled a Tyla on the summers. Why? Give Tyla some respect. Give
Exactly.
Tyla some respect, please.
Well, that outfit. Let's not go on Mini's outfits on that sums, because there's one outfit that I clearly didn't understand, like the Hotel Queens one. Definitely, but yeah,
Okay, guys,
it's definitely an interesting one.
Let's not forget. Let's not forget Tyla once wore cement. I guess.
Lady Gaga, we're
Oh,
having meet once upon a time. So what's next? We are not shocked.
Okay, guys, join us as we text Facebook in whatever. Tyla, representing South Africa worldwide. Tell us what you think about that, and tell us who is your favorite South African making waves internationally. I'd have to say my personal favorite. Bonang Matel is waving the flag, guys, and I should put it there to say, "Girl B, we see you, we see you."
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, my turn. So let's talk about rugby. South African Fran Smith touted as the next Scottish Test team coach. So her jokingly accused of Razy Erasmus of copying his 7-1 bench split tactic, famously known as bomb squad. Hey, guys, you don't know rugby, you won't
It reminds
understand, but
me of that South African advert. 7-1.
Yeah, and guys, Sam Smith, Smith claims he was the original mastermind behind the strategy. So no crazy, while it's all a good and fun. So it also highlights the competition nature of SA rugby. And mine, Kagiso, what are your thoughts on this? Let me bring you to my world. What are your thoughts
Kgothatso likes bringing
as
me
we talk
into
about
his world,
this?
and I don't even understand some parts of his world, because when I look at rugby, I just see men coming together and there's just fighting, and then there's blood, and then that. But I did watch some cricket during the Rugby World Cup when South Africa won, even though I still don't understand how the points and how they're scoring. But definitely it goes to show that there is innovation that happens within our sports, and that is important, that needs to be taken into account of that. Definitely innovation and growing our diverse, whether it's Rasi or whether it's Franco, but the most important thing is that they're putting Africa and South Africa on a global stage.
definitely. I think I also agree with that, but I just don't want us to actually forget how these tactics actually inspire other teams to actually innovate, It's actually a testament to the influence of South African rugby, if I may say.
And I should say, rugby in the sport world, it has been putting us on the map. should give it to them.
Oh, definitely.
It has
Oh
been,
no.
unlike some people, they'll be telling them that they are a bunch of losers soon.
No. Definitely rugby has us, And speaking of tactics, if you guys think the 7-1 thing, it's big, guys, there's more into rugby. There's more. We can play 8 forward, and you ask yourself, what are we doing? Like, guys, rugby, it has a lot of
Teach
tactics.
us.
And, there are a lot of tactics
I
in
don't even
rugby.
know what's
So
forward, what forward, but all I know is that they have a full squad like us, bringing all the very latest in the world of news. That's all I know.
Scrum.
I'm a scrubber. Probably he's is there a defender
How?
there? And then there's a goal,
no,
a
no.
striker, and then there's a midfielder. I don't know.
And they run.
It,
There's someone
it's
that runs more than anyone in the team.
that is complicated. Actually, what they call forward backs, they called the forwards, which are like the defenses. They are back lines, which are those people we know they run, and we have the full backs. Whenever there's a full back, no one should pass that guy. If they pass that guy, you're a cow. We're going to deal with you. How did they pass you when you're a full back? Yeah. So rugby is just, but they're there. We don't have position like striker. We have wings and we call tens. We have what you call. We have hookers. We have like guys. There are lots. If I tell you guys, you want and
rugby matches, and I'm taking you with so that you'll tell me who's running now, who has the ball
Definitely.
now.
Definitely, and what's happening right now.
Exactly.
we should go live. We should go live when rugby is playing or
Thank
point it out.
you.
Or Lamont.
I know I'm not the only one. Someone is watching here and he feels like me. With hey man, what the hell? A back run, forward run, side what?
It's a lot.
It's a lot indeed.
Okay, let's definitely take it to round three right now. Kicking it off, of course, with one of South Africa's most pressing issues, all right? Eskom municipalities actually across the country actually owe the struggling power utility a staggering 74.4 billion, putting its financial stability at an even a greater risk. This debt, of course, doesn't just affect Eskom, if I may put it that way, okay? It actually impacts service deliveries, job creations, and even local economies. I don't know on your side, Kagiso, do you actually think these debt debt crisis in the final straw is in the final straw rather for Eskom? Is rather the final straw of Eskom, if I may say.
I might say that definitely Eskom is shaping into a new wave. This afternoon, the Minister of Electricity and Energy, Kgosi Mokgopa, was addressing the nation together with the executive from the Eskom to say that they are expecting a profit in the financial budget of 2024-2025 as they were taking out the stats of the 2023-2024 financial records, showing that there has been an improvement. Looking at the fact that we are over 300 days without load shedding, and this is something that has sparked conversation in South Africa for 2024 to say that for the previous years, it has been load shedding stage this, stage this. I mean, even right now, we could have been asking ourselves of which stage is it? How are you going to affect it? Probably some of us, because it's 8 o'clock right now, it might have been that the 8 o'clock hour might have been, affecting someone right now. That's what we know. But definitely, this is a very triggering issue, especially when it comes to townships. The NESA was doing dialogues with a lot of community members, and we are looking at the fact that municipalities rely on Eskom for power, but their inability or unwillingness to play cripples the Eskom's ability to function. Until this is addressed, it's hard to see Eskom to recover. Yes, the electricity minister was reiterating that to say that yes, we want to help South Africans to better manage this electricity, but if we are not paying, you are not helping us in reducing this debt.
That's true.
Yeah.
So, my question is, how do we always have this financial there's money that goes out every year or every 2 years, like they say that there's funding that was happening in this for 2024 and 2025, but then the bill never goes down. No, instead it goes up every year. This was not the amount that we were owing, and then we are still owing, and it's more on Japan.
Hey, like it's actually crazy, you know. And so I'm just gonna go back a little bit in thing, so my girlfriend is in Alex right now, and he told me they still experiencing load shedding, you know. And I'm like, what? Like, he calls me like, hey, electricity will be gone at this time, we'll be gone at this time, you know. And again, let's not forget that this is an impact in every day. Like, South Africans load shedding is not just an inconvenience, it's just an economic social disaster.
Pandemic, I tell you.
That's definitely a pandemic. It also just shows us how our municipalities are also misusing funds, as well, if you may put it that way, because when it comes to them, they'll always tell you that there's no budget for things. I think a while back we once spoke about this topic when we were unpacking Kagiso and how some of the people actually lost their jobs, and in municipalities saying that they just do not have any funds to actually pay employees. But you get to ask yourselves, if municipalities are actually owing Eskom a staggering amount like this, where is it taking our countries? Because I can see lately also we saw how Eskom were actually making other implementations. But we do ask everyone to use the hashtag on tag us rather on our socials there, saying that Eskom did, and don't forget to also tag us there on hashtag NewsDesk review about the 70.4 billion owed to Eskom by municipalities. Now, is this the final straw for South African power crisis? I don't know. Once again, please don't forget to use the hashtag.
Perhaps before we continue, so you see, now we are talking about Eskom. I think in 2 years or 3 years we'll be talking about water crisis. We'll be owing water $78 million cash and stuff.
Yo,
And that's the tragedy that we are seeing, even with the maintenance that they're doing. I mean, I still don't have water even today, and it's a
No
very
way.
challenging one. And if we are talking about this, and Eskom seems like they're moving into a recovery mode, and now the water
Yeah.
is now the one that is crippling in.
There's always
Hectic.
a fear somewhere. Someone is eating their money. Always somewhere the money must be eaten.
Yeah, definitely continue the conversation using the hashtag NewsDesk review on all our social media platforms. Now, let's move on to some global economies now, as we look into the BRICS nations, as we know that the Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa are considering creating a new reserve currency backed by their own currencies. This BRICS currency aims to challenge their dominance over the US dollar. This could be a game changer, particularly for countries like South Africa, as it seems greater economy's independence, but it's not also a high-stake move, but this could provoke significant geopolitical tensions, looking into the fact that the US President-elect Donald Trump says that they are going to increase tariffs into 100% if this BRICS currency continues, because looking at the fact that this might pose a threat between the US dollar, as we all know that the US dollar is one of some of the currencies that are pretty much strained in these African countries, looking at the fact that the rand was looking a bit weaker this afternoon, piling in a sea full of red, looking at a drop of 0.1% there. The rand was definitely, you needed 18 rand 17 cents for you to get yourself a rand, which shows that there has been a lot of challenges that might be facing, but the BRICS nation saw this as a solution to kind of solve problems and also help them in order for them, as they're traveling around across the world, to use their BRICS currency to trade. I don't know, Kgothatso, what are your thoughts around this BRICS strategy? Is this a bold strategy, or is this a dangerous gamble?
it's bold and it's dangerous at the same time, you know. Going back to when Donald Trump said he doesn't care what happens, he still wants dollar to be in trade, you know. So it's dangerous and it's bold at the same time, because we might be in a war, you know. And Kagiso, like, it's a like I'm saying, like, it's bold, but the potential backlash from us and its alliances could be like itself, you know. We're talking about trade war, sections, and ripple effects on the global market. So right now we're just crossing our fingers and hoping we won't face any disaster. Like, we just don't want to face disaster at this point. We're going through a lot already. So this it's going to, like we just right because the thing is we don't know what to expect from this.
True,
You
Kgothatso.
know,
But
we all saying, hey, it has to be good. You just have to go according to plan as South Africans and everyone in breaks. But America is saying, do your move, and all of you guys are gonna know. You know, and the question is, the minute the US steps in and say, I told you guys, are we going to say we don't listen to you, or are we going to say take it easy? We're just doing what we have to do. So that's why it takes me back to it's bold and it's dangerous at the same time.
True, Kgothatso. But also, it also shows that the emerging economy has been tied under tight thumbs, guys. We've been struggling economically. This might be a positive one for us or not. But then, because this guy is trying to Cindezela us, and he's not thinking of other countries but the USA. If they can pull this off, it could redefine global trade.
Yeah. Thank
Definitely.
you. You know,
A tricky
and
one. But you can go onto our social media platforms and engage on our conversation. We're asking you a question that BRICS considers a new reserve currency to challenge the US dollar. Bold strategy, or is it a dangerous strategy? However you view it, go to our social media platforms using hashtag BRICS currency and hashtag NewsDesk review, right? Because that's more in the world of sports.
all right, footballers. Now, this one is for you. So, guys, Lionel Messi, top voter for the FIFA Best Man player, has been revealed, and once, and it once Vinicius Junior, like it wasn't Vinicius Junior, I mean, or Rodri, despite the incredible seasons they had, you know. So, but instead, it was Messi who just came at the top again, you know. So, Messi is just doing it. Messi is just doing it, and he just backed against his old teammate Kylian Mbappe. So, guys, this shows it takes me back to what I'm saying. Sport is like politics. We have Vinicius Junior who did wonderfuls. We had Rodri who had the wonderful season ever, you know, and Messi was still at the top, you know. And while Vinicius Junior ultimate won the award, Messi's choices has sparked a lively debate, you know. So the question is, was it was it loyalty to Mbappe, or did Messi just genuinely believe he was the best player this year? Samo, what's your take on this one?
Bashimani, that's all I'll say. Kgothatso, Messi's loyalty to Mbappe is clear. It's always been clear. Bashimani, I still say. You know,
Awa.
but it's also a reflection.
And look at how it just turned to Bashiman after all. Like, oh wow.
We listen, we do not judge.
Okay, we listen, but we do not judge for real.
No, I judge. I'm judging.
Yeah,
I'm
Kgothatso,
judging.
you spoke about
I'm
Tyla,
judging.
I said nothing.
You can't go against me and Tyler's business. That's between me and Tyler. It's our business. Here, I'm judging.
When it's my turn to talk about crashes and stuff.
Oh my
And I
goodness.
said, subjective data. For these awards, guys, you know, when you're team members, like, you know each other in and out, like, that's a bit like who has strengths in this and who is good in this. And I think Messi and Mbappe have that support because of they know each other to that level of, you know, I know when Messi is playing like this happens. When Mbappe is playing like this happens. I'm not a sports person, but like I said, Bashimani, I have a few players that I watch soccer because of.
You know what? I'm on you with this one, Sam. You know, as much as I'm not a sport guru, but every day I'm actually getting better. Let me just read my 2 cents. This is, I think, for me, it's definitely a reminder that these awards are as much as about the narrative, you know, narrative as performance. And let's just face it. You know, football fans love drama. Let's be honest. I know that's definitely gonna kill me on this one, but it's true.
Yeah, and Kibashimani, after all, they love drama.
Oh, Oh, definitely. When it comes to soccer, we don't keep quiet for anything. I mean, look at Man City fans. They're all quiet. The fact that they lost against Man United, they're all quiet. They won't say anything because if they talk, we're going to remind them how they got the beating of their life. Okay, guys. So, Messi subs Vinicius Jr. and Rodri at FIFA Awards. Was it loyal or personal bias? So let the debate begin. Hashtag FIFA Awards. Hashtag NewsDesk Review. I repeat, let that debate begin at hashtag FIFA Awards. Hashtag NewsDesk Review.
Okay, fast. Let's wrap up round 3. Ujesu ati. Oh, this guy has grabbed us by something since he set foot on the socials, guys. Meet brother Enigma, Ujesu ati. The self-proclaimed.
Ujesu athi akafuni siye live on Instagram. Kagiso.
And then
In trouble.
Remile nina futhi. Oh, brother Enigma,
And then he's streaming at that time. He busy like he's streaming no brother Igma Uti. You're not supposed to be here. You know, yeah. What?
According to him, guys, everything we do is wrong. Gym dynamics, perfume, perfume have evil spirits, tattoos. Apparently, some of us are gonna, when we die, we are not gonna be able to wake up because tattoos will be heavy on us when they long or cries. And while he claims this sparks of this thing, guys, this thing has been serious. Some people take it serious because some of the things he says are lying to the Bible. Because it makes sense. But my question is, what do we have to do in a right medicine? Because it looks like everything that we're doing, he proclaims modern world and modern practices as something that is demonic, satanic, or evil. So the question is, what is it that we have to do, and what do you think drives the viral prophets videos? And he has followers, guys. This guy has followers for days. There are people who will stand with him and will tell you, "Hey, brother Enigma is correct by saying 1, 2, 3." So. The question is, what is this rival prophets, guys?
The shocking thing is that, as you are reiterating and talking right now, that we don't know what is it that we're supposed to be doing. And my challenge is that in South Africa, we are allowing a lot of these self-proclaimed pastors to come and do as they please. I remember a few years back, there was an instance where people were being made to drink petrol and eat certain things like grass, and we allow it. The very same Umboro who is making news headlines, who has been, going around, was another pastor that came into our country, and rather not coming to a country from our country, trying to show that he is a self-proclaimed, this is what God has says. He even talked about the dreams and all that. But I stumbled upon some of Pastor Igma's remarks, and listen to this, guys.
Chris ngoba ngi-2000 ngiyena nasizothola usithezulu imvela ngilithida uzawubuza bezoyicacisa and abantwana bakudala before 2000 bebasaba ititshere basaba mistress. So abantwana bamanje imistress mayibhala on the blackboard bayenza ijoke ngapha ngasemuva, bayenza ijoke bahleke bonke.
Yeah, niyenza ijoke ngapha ngasemuva ama 2000. Now he has problems with ama 2000. He has problems with almost everything. Like, yeah, I don't know what to say.
On
that video, he says, I'll have to say, Abo Pastor Bamanje, but Pastor Mapak.
Yes, definitely. Guys, like, let's be honest. I feel like everyone now is just looking for every reason to be famous, because now they're making everyone feel like they lost. It's like we lost souls who don't know what is what at this point, But I'm just glad he's getting recognition. Okay, I'm not gonna judge anyone who believes that the things that he's saying are true. But at the end of the day, we're all sinners, even himself. Like at this point, it's true, yeah. But I honestly believe that it also, yeah.
I think it also speaks to deeper search for meaning when it comes in uncertain times, because people want answers, and figures like Brother Enigma to tap into that, honestly.
Yeah, but I see on her
yeah.
tweets, Instagram, and all that.
Yeah.
What's your take on this dynamics of perfumes being evil spirit and trimming your hair not being allowed? Basekunda, ungadreamy. Tell us your views on
Like,
Yo.
it's
hashtag brother
another
Enigma.
subject. It's a very tricky one. I don't know. Kgothatso, even now when you go get your haircut, please do not trim, because it's something that the Lord doesn't
Please.
want.
So me, my take is when I die, please bury me with the fire extinguisher because I'm trimming my hair.
So definitely you're going to extinguish everyone there.
Yeah.
Hashtag brother Enigma. Hashtag brother Enigma. Kabang ba di fire extinguisher? Basta sa kanali Enigma. Kopili. Hashtag brother Enigma. Hashtag NewsDesk. Follow us and tell us what's your view on these evil spirits that looks like everything that is modern is satanic.
Very sad. Thank you so much to you guys. With that said, it brings us to the end of season 3 of the NewsDesk right here on television, where we inform, impact, and inspire you. This was an extended version of the Behind the Headlines as we were wrapping up, giving you a review of what has caught our attention into 2024. And definitely it's been a year filled with a lot of drama. Speaking of plenty, we will bring you a poll question this afternoon to ask you, with the final moments of the season 3 of the NewsDesk, right? As we close out, we want to know, what is the headline that has caught your attention in 2024? You had options there. The first one was the 2024 general elections. And the second one rather was hashtag Chris Brown. The third one was CAF 2024 awards. And the final one was Rise Mzansi. Or rather, not Rise Mzansi, MK Party rising its votes. And the votes results shows that 45% of you saying that the 2024 general elections, 25% of you saying Chris Brown, and 20% of you saying the CAF 2024 elections, and MK Party winning with 10%. Any surprises here, guys?
Definitely not really, honestly, Kagiso, these elections, the elections, if I may say, apologize for that, were actually a game changer, and it's actually no surprise they actually resonate the most with our viewers.
Kgothatso, your thoughts?
I would say our viewers Bamtandilo Chris Brown, guys. This guy just came 2 minutes already. He's at the top, not 20-something%. Guys, we realize he's selling our cares, but no, yo, guys. But hey, it's nice to see when the numbers are like that. But the fact that the elections is at the top, hey, I'm looking forward. It means that we are paying attention to what's happening in our country. And
Yeah.
congratulations to those people. And well done for noticing everything, for not being blind anymore, for taking steps in it. Thank you very much.
I share sentiment, Potato. Seeing that people are paying attention on what's happening in the politics is very new. Because now I know we'd be talking about Chris Brown the whole year. South Africans like things with movement, like I always say. So yeah, seeing the elections being ranking number 1 is something that is very nice. But on the other hand, Chris Brown, hashtag Chris Brown, guys. Hashtag Chris Brown. I think we're gonna talk about Chris Brown until next year, December, until they bring us someone who's gonna make us forget that Chris Brown gave us crazy and unforgettable moments.
Speaking of Chris Brown, I saw this tweet that says they're away this December. Wafika no Chris Brown. I'm like, yes. Oh,
Definitely
Wafika no
the
Chris
festive
Brown.
season just
Zoba
got in a crazy one.
Valid.
All right, thank you so much, guys, for joining us as we wrap up the 2024 season of the NewsDesk. It's been a great pleasure to have you on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and we share our crazy thoughts, we share our inspiring moments, great insights as always. As we close out this thing, we are saying that thank you so much, that it's been an incredible journey. The year has brought us stories that has challenged us, inspired us, shocked us, from historical election moments to cultural triumphs, to also looking at Brother Igma, looking at people who are trending within the sports. A lot of it's been happening within our news cycle. Our political analyst on Tuesday Utepo said that definitely it has been a roller coaster, and that's what we have been seeing with South Africa. It has definitely been a roller coaster. Season 4 of the NewsDesk promises to bring you nothing but more magic on stories that we'll be tracking for you, with new segments that might be coming in, such as the world view and also the political Africa in View. Africa in View will be looking into things such as Africa stories making international headlines, and we'll be having our African news editor Sean joining us, and also World in View. Dennis, our international news editor, will be joining the desk in the upcoming season 4 of the News Desk. Not forgetting, guys, that next year we are turning 5 years of informing, impacting, and inspiring. So greater content, more developments are going to be still coming right here on the News Desk. Make sure that you do join us as we share this milestone together. I'd like to take this moment to thank the incredible team, my co-host Tyla, who's not here with us today. Thank you so much for making sure that we have stories that inform, impact, and inspire. To you, my news editor Samu, Babalwa, Kgothatso, thank you so much for making sure that we bring up these entire stories, working behind the scenes and making sure that everything runs according to plan. As we look ahead to 2025, we can't wait to see how the News Desk continues to evolve in you. Thank you so much for engaging. Thank you so much for watching and being part of this conversation. For the last time in 2024, till we meet again, look after yourself. Good night.
Adios.
Good night.